Welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit about blood flow, a Qi perspective. I'm actually going to go much more in detail in the future into the concepts of the various types of Qi in the body and how they work, and also about blood from a perspective of Chinese medicine. This particular class is really just to illustrate the concept of Qi as it now flows and helps us describe and understand something about physiology by a human and how it works from a perspective of someone who's thinking in terms of Qi, yin yang, things along these lines. So basically, we're taking this one example of blood flow. Now, blood flow, we all know today, we have these vessels in our body and blood flows through these vessels. Well, Chinese medicine perceived it the same sort of way. And what happens is you have this sort of layers. Like on the chart, for example, before us, you have the idea, you have the external layer, the skin, and you have something which constrains and keeps blood in the vessels below the skin, and this is called spleen qi. So notice, for example, that qi almost always, if not always, is an association with some other word, and that's necessary because qi is this primordial material. And when we're talking here about the concept of qi, we're basically trying to take this idea of qi and we're associating it with the spleen. So the organ, the spleen, when its relationship to the concept of qi is that it checks, constrains blood inside the vessel. So then take something else. For example, you have the heart qi. So heart basically gives the power to propel blood through the vessel. The liver, that stores blood and controls volume. Now you notice, for example, in the chart in front of you, the heart basically gives one direction of flow, and the liver controls another direction, meaning the turgor pressure that the blood has as it's inside the vessel itself, where again the movement is coming from the heart qi, which is giving it its ability to propel. The blood itself carries with it yin qi, basically the nutritive value that the body needs in order to function and grow and so forth and so on. Again, we'll talk about this concept of each of these different types of qi in the future. The point, though, is to say that all of these different relationships, each one of those takes the concept of qi and constrains the concept to some aspect, either the physical, either the functional aspects, or some relationship that is within the specific case, in this case blood flow, to give us an illustration of this. Interestingly enough, by the way, wei qi, which flows outside the vessels, right, and between basically the skin and the vessels, this is a form of qi that's used to defend against pathogens and also warms the muscles. So you see the vessel itself has all different types of qi, meaning all different functions that are related to its management and use of blood. And then you see qi used completely different way, in this case in the concept of wei qi, of defensive qi, which is the energy that the body uses in order to be able to fund and make work our immune system and also maintain our sense of warmth and to be able to maintain life and health. So again, this is just really for us first. Don't worry if you don't understand all the concept at this moment. To understand the general concept that qi, it's not something, it's a relationship of many different things, and each one of them is a different type of qi, but it's not that it's a different thing, it's the same thing, but it is how it's related to something else. So everything about qi is about relationships, and that's important to understand. So we're going to be focusing, as we start growing our understanding of Chinese medicine and the physiology of the human being, we're going to focus on relationships and how the relationships of various different functions and physical elements of the body work together to maintain our sense of harmony and health. And then we can start understanding how discord works, how problems happen.